Hello and welcome to the Super Salty Podcast with me, Neelesh Durari, and my co-host.
And me, Max Wallace. I'm here. Super Salty Podcast.
You almost forgot to say your fucking name, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
It got me. I got it though.
We have a
Came to
new
me.
format for the YouTube. We're going to try webcam video chat because, of course, this is a podcast where I am in South England and Max is in West Virginia. Country roads, take me home.
Always been here. To the place I belong.
The main topic that I think we should cover, or the first topic, there's a few big topics here, is we're all going to storm Area 51 and they can't stop us all. And if we run fast enough, if we do the Naruto run, we will run fast enough that the bullets cannot catch us.
So So you may be more up to date on this. What is the validity in the fact that the military actually gives a shit at all? Do they really? Is that even a thing, or is that a joke in itself that people are saying the military cares?
I think
because it's very clearly just a joke.
Yeah, have you seen the Facebook group?
I saw it at the very beginning when it had like 100,000.
Wow, you're in early.
Whatever.
It is now at 1.8 million people going, 1.4 million interested, but you can be going and interested at the same time. No
accountability to doing that though. You can click anything you want and then just not go. So that means zero things to me. So
absolutely. And by the tone of your voice, I can hear that you want me to send you an invite.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, you're already invited. You're already invited, Max.
I'm invited already? Jesus Christ.
I don't know who invited you. You clearly have better friends than me, but it is very much.
I didn't accept it.
It is very much.
I'll leave it in my invites like forever as a historical sort of thing I can always refer back to.
It's very much like just a joke, and the dude at the end, at the bottom, says, "By the way, we have no real plans to do this. This is clearly a joke." However, it's riled up. It's gone viral, and like, when's the last time a Facebook event had gone truly viral? Like, everyone's talking about this one Facebook event that was just a joke by some guy. And he refused to do interviews for a while, but I think when it reached over 500,000, he began to wonder, like, could he get in trouble? Like, is he gonna become a problem to the US military? And in the Facebook post, he says things like, "This is a joke. We're not really gonna do this." And also, he references Joe Rogan podcast with Bob Lazar, where Bob Lazar says that there's nothing actually yet. No alien stuff left in Area 51 because they moved it.
Oh, for sure. If there ever was, we've known about the connection of Area 51 to alien stuff for so long. They wouldn't keep doing alien shit there.
You never know. Maybe that's what they want us to think, Max. Maybe they're just doing alien shit all the time.
I need to not be one step behind them. That's exactly what they want.
Find them aliens. My boy.
I want to see them aliens.
I want to see them aliens.
I like it's in the details. I think the overall joke is like 6 out of 10 in terms of funniness. It's like, okay, they can't stop all of us. They can.
You're just like overrated meme.
The overall is, but it's in the details. Like there's going to be like classes of people, like the Naruto runners. That's funny to picture a lot of people like trying to,
or like the Kyles,
like putting their arms back. I've never seen Naruto ever, but I know that they run with their arms back.
Yes.
I think that's just a great sort of visual, and I appreciate that. And so I like that. I like the small details of the bigger picture.
There is what appears to be a military class, a presentation explaining the situation to the class of personnel, and I'm pretty sure it's just so that they're educating their people on what this meme is, what a Naruto run is.
Is it? I was gonna say, is it the one with
with the soldier like putting his arms back?
I wonder how real that is, because obviously anyone can put on camo and just stage a photo like that, like so easy, and they knew that if they would do that, they would get like 1 million views.
I just dragged it into the video recording.
It seems real.
It does seem like
anybody could stage that, but it's still funny.
Everyone knows, like then the intention is not to really go and storm Area 51, but
No.
from this event, a lot of people are actually going to go there on the 20th of September. And
yeah, I'm curious about the like 30 people who are going to go and what's going to happen there. And
what with the 30
what
people?
they're going to report back with. And I'm curious. I just want to see photos from it. I just want to see people like, oh my God, we showed up. We actually showed up.
Well, they think that a lot of people are actually going to show up, and it's going to be less about storming Area 51 and more like a get-together sort of weird party thing with like food trucks and music, and they've called up all the restaurants and the bars and been like, hey, we're going to come, but we want to make sure that you know that on this day to expect like a shit ton of people. And everyone seems to be like, okay. In interviews with like a local restaurant, a woman was like, I get that like it's a joke, but you don't know what people are like around here. Some of those people are going to try and do it.
Sure, yeah.
And they're going to get a shot.
It's just a numbers game. It's just a numbers game that some of those people are going to, maybe 20 or 30 of them out of these millions or whatever. Which, by the way, I don't know. Maybe it's just me I'm just kind of cynical in terms of numbers on the internet. Like, I remember back when 1 million of anything on the internet was like such a big number, but that number doesn't faze me at all anymore. Like 1 million people signed this. That's not very many people. It's just not. There's like way too many people on the internet for that to be a big deal. It kind of is, but I'm just so desensitized to the number. 1 million. Yeah, whatever, dude.
You got beef with the Naruto runners. You got beef with the Facebook group. You got beef with the number 1 million.
A video gets 1 million views. It's not. I mean, that's a lot, but it's not that much. I don't know. It's not anymore. It just isn't. I'm so desensitized.
Do you think that like Earth somewhere, a government knows about aliens and they just haven't told the rest of us?
I'm gonna say I'll say probably not. I'm gonna say probably not.
I think
we don't know yet.
Entirely a possibility, but there's no proof that that's the case. Apart from,
do I think there's life out there? 100%.
Yeah,
for sure.
I definitely think that there's other life out there in terms of like microbiology 100%. And like bodies of water with bacteria, that kind of thing. The real question is there intelligent life? But I think there's a section of this Facebook group that wants to see humanoid aliens.
Sure. That's those are the kind that we invented it for movies and stuff, so they want to see them. Yeah. Even though we invented them.
This would make an excellent little game. A Storm Area 51 game with your Naruto runners and your anti-vax kids. These are the classes that they draw on the like war plan on the diagrams.
Right. And it would have to be a real quick like flash game. It would have to be a Newgrounds game, just a real quick something you can get out before the meme dies. Throw it out there.
I was thinking about like, imagine like the things you could put in the air hangar bunkers and like what monstrosities. Like, what if it was like a giant baby clone of Trump? Just like,
oh, that's good.
You unleash him and he's just wreaking havoc across Nevada. I don't know. It seemed like a fun idea.
I could see that. That'd be a fun time. So when is the date supposed to be that this will happen? I forget.
20th of September, which is a Friday.
September. That's well, we're all gonna forget about it by then. That's so long.
Yeah, that's sort of what I thought. I really thought like this is like the new Find Coney, where people are just gonna forget it. Like it's gonna seem so important right now, and it's everywhere, but people are just gonna forget it.
That was man, I remember the Coney shit. I was in college when I saw it for the first time. I was in a class. I forget why they were even showing it. And this dude, he's a little strange. He's in his 40s, you know, going back to school. He's a little strange, a little too outspoken. People like don't even listen when he starts talking. You know, he's made a reputation for himself. He was like playing, and he like left the room, and we're like, okay. And he came back. He's like, I donated to them. Okay, dude.
Wow.
Wow, dude, you're great, man. We love you.
You should do it too. I donated.
Yeah. Didn't finish the one-sided documentary even. Didn't even finish one of the sides of the argument before you threw money somewhere. But But that's cool, man. Appreciate that. So yeah, it's a little off topic, but yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what the popularity level of this is going to be by then, because I could see people being sick of talking about this in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be. I
Yeah.
feel like it's on the decline already. Area 51. Yeah.
The next topic I want to talk about is the Henry Cavill Witcher Netflix show. So this isn't really based on the Witcher game. It's based on the Witcher books, which means that author is going to get a hell of a lot of money. Because I remember when he licensed out the Witcher game, he did it for a set value instead of taking a percentage. And I think he regrets that, and he tries to like negotiate new deals with the company, but they don't really let him, and things like that. I remember he said the game would be nothing without my books, because the books were already popular. And I'm just like, I didn't know there were books. I think most people.
I'm
did
just
not
now
know.
learning that actually. Yeah.
But yeah.
So okay, so this series is going to be based on the books. Well, was the game based on the books?
Yeah, to some degree, but everyone takes a few artistic liberties. So
Was Geralt in the books?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like in a way, then the movie's going to be kind of.
There is
similar to the
definitely
game, then.
super like similar. I think it looks very like Games of Thronesy, and I think it's definitely trying to get that audience that has been left with not much for this period of time until they do prequel shows.
Yeah, there's very similar amounts of nudity in both too, so that's gonna work pretty well.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah, that's a parallel I just made natural in my mind because I'm a degenerate. But that's we'll see how it goes. We'll see how this Witcher business goes.
The direct competition to this Witcher Netflix show is Lord of the Rings, the Amazon show, which is also it's a prequel to Lord of the Rings, so it's a prequel series to Lord of the Rings. Haven't seen anything from it apart from that it is a thing that will happen.
Is it before Lord of the Rings, after The Hobbit? Where in the timeline?
I think it's like I have no idea. It's about the creation of the rings. So we're talking.
Oh, that sounds like before Hobbit.
Yeah, then. I don't know a hell of a lot. I know that their teaser trailer for where it was going to be set, I think it's Midgard. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry, but basically they're going to go back to when the rings were created and write a story around that. Personally, I'd like something that was like Game of Thrones, except for maybe just less fucking harsh on the soul to watch. I was thinking about earlier how I used to watch The Walking Dead, and there was that one episode where everyone's favourite character gets brutally murdered, and you see him suffer, and then everyone's like, the fuck is this? And I think a lot of people fell off board with like the show, and to be honest, it dwindled. It dwindled, and I just
there are classy ways to kill off important characters.
Yeah.
Stranger Things has done it several times and pulled it off. And when they do, I think when you do something like that, you need to be pushing a specific message, like no, this is serious. Nobody is safe. Seems to be what you want to be implying with that. Someone's doing some yard work outside the window, so.
That's cool.
Apologies if you hear any of that, but that's just life. That's real life. We're recording this podcast in a real life sort of situation.
I just assumed that it was someone in your closet, and I didn't want to say anything because
no, it couldn't be because I closed the door. So
you closed the door.
Yeah, yeah. You can actually see it, and it is closed. So couldn't be that.
It's
possibly.
moving.
It's soundproof though. So
okay, sure.
Yeah, there's no way.
I can't
hear
Witcher,
that. I think the Witcher's going
just so you know.
I think the Witcher's going to be so fun when they kill everyone. It's going to be really
I think it'll be fun. I remember
when they kill Geralt in episode 3, everyone's going to love it. It's going to be really fun.
I remember in Game of Thrones where like I was watching the first couple of seasons. I was like, make something happen. I get it. It's a show with a different pace, but every once in a while there's a little bit of magic, and then there's like episodes and episodes of no magic. I'm like, dude, where are the dragons? But I think
I'm okay with long drawn out shows sometimes, but something has to happen in every episode or I'm going to fall off and never watch it again. Something has to happen.
I imagine this Witcher TV show, Netflix show, I should say, is probably more eventful. Like, you probably will see supernatural elements every episode. They'll probably do that from the very beginning, because he is a Witcher. He is like a magical warrior type thing. I'm just glad that Henry Cavill has moved on to something else and isn't so hooked on being Superman anymore. I think they're gonna
have to CGI a beard onto him in this one.
That's easy. CGI
it's a little easier to do, huh?
It's terrible.
Yeah. Oh boy, that was fun.
It's just
I never saw that, but well, I saw clips of that specifically. But I'd like to see it in context. See that clean shaven upper lip. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
What a weird thing.
What a weird world we live in.
Situation.
Where studios had a pissing contest about whether or not he should keep the mustache and CGI it out, or he should lose the mustache and have the other studio CGI it in, which they were totally willing to do, but just to fucking, they're like, nah, he has to have the mustache. It's in his contract. Imagine signing a contract. It's like, yes, I will have a mustache for this entire thing.
Acting's great. Being in movies, I'm sure it's real fun if that's something you like to do. But man, I feel like I would want to be more in control of
your life,
myself, and my body. Yeah, it just seems like such a crazy. Like, no, everything here, it's all based on a contract, and if I change anything, I'm in trouble.
I think we should segue into movies, since Comic-Con was literally happened, and Marvel had a big panel. We'll come back to games right now. They showed Avengers, the gameplay, and there is leaked footage, so that's good.
Yeah,
we saw it, and I can report to you that it looks underwhelming. Yeah, it's a third-person narrative sort of driven game where you keep switching between the characters. So you'll play as Iron Man for a bit, and Iron Man's teamed up with Thor in that scene, whatever. He plays Thor for a bit, and it's interesting, but it doesn't really solve the problems that you're doing a sort of photorealistic game on the Avengers, but it's not the actual actors. And I understand that Robert Downey Jr.'s face cost a fraction of $1 billion to be on a project, but it doesn't help. And then you don't show gameplay when you show the first footage of the game. Like, you don't show...
You know what? I never see... Even when I go to a game's Steam page, I have to look so hard to find fucking gameplay. There's no one wants to show a screen cap of their game. Everyone's afraid to show what it looks like to play it. It has to be like some cinematic like thing that's not even going to be in the game. Like, why are you doing this?
That's all I do with my Twitter.
I hate it. I hate it so much. Just show me what it looks like to be playing the game, please. I'm thinking about buying it. I want to know what I'm about to do when I buy it and install it.
Yeah.
And it's like every game. It's like 80% of the ones I pull up on Steam. It's just, oh, it's just crazy, and the camera goes around them, and and the swords hit. And it's like, no, just, what does it look like to play it?
Yeah.
I hate it so much. Huge pet peeve of mine. If you couldn't tell, hate it.
I remember when they. No, I don't want to make this a Watch Dogs podcast. But when they showed Watch Dogs, they showed gameplay, and just the fact that everyone saw a different thing being played on the giant E3 screen. Everyone was excited, and no one seemed to have learned the lesson that all you need to do is come up with something new, which the Avengers game is, and just show really compelling gameplay.
Yeah.
So this gameplay leak, someone recorded it on their phone at the Comic-Con presentation where no one was supposed to, but they did. And it looks underwhelming.
That was going to happen.
Yeah, it's dumb.
What are you going to police that many people in an auditorium or whatever?
It's dumb to do that and not release it on the internet, because it just will. So you might as well make it look good. It's negative for people who want to see your game see a leaked version instead of actual official version. It's
could be deliberate for all we know. Let's tell them not to share it, but then we're gonna show it to a huge auditorium of people.
There's a good chance they wanted like audience reactions, but what audience reactions are you gonna get in a room of a theater style room of people. Like, how's that gonna work? But it looks underwhelming. Like, it looks like a third person game. You know how the Star Wars game looks underwhelming in terms of gameplay.
Yeah,
This is a bit like that. Like, it's very pretty. It looks, God help me, very cinematic, but the gameplay looks stiff and underwhelming and boring. It just looks boring. How do you make the Avengers boring? I mean, that's an achievement in and of itself.
That's a good question.
I could
It's
be
like
wrong.
having a template, and you just, it's like, all right, the person is going to be in the third of the screen, and they will go forward and back and left and right. And we will swap them out for other people that you can be.
Well, I should explain like what it looked like. Like, there's an event that's happening, let's say on the bridge.
I've seen a little bit of Thor playing.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah, and like Thor,
I mean, it looked okay. It looked fine.
Thor's coming down, or like Iron Man's coming down, but Iron Man seems to be like flying and shooting on rails a little bit, and Thor seems to be in an enclosed area, if that makes sense, like a sectioned off part of the bridge where each end has like vehicles fallen over, and you're fighting through enemies, and you're just walking up to enemies in this really small area and just hitting them.
So what you're saying is exploration does not seem to be...
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It's not a exploration game. You want that, you can play Lego Avengers.
Yeah, it's like the on-rails VR experience, but not... Well, I don't know if it's going to be VR or not, but yeah.
I don't think so, but like it is... It's... To make a superhero game has always been notoriously difficult, and the first ones that really like took big strides for that was like maybe Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2 on PS2, and the next one that I really can think of is the Batman games, and the last one I played was probably the Spider-Man PS4 games. Games that make you feel with gameplay that you are this character. So you're gonna do a game where you play 4 of them, and well, it's just a very big game design problem. Like,
yeah, it's a little ambitious. I mean, it is.
Like, when you play as a superhero in a video game, you want to make sure that you can be able to do all the things that the superhero should be able to do. But here, like, Thor should be able to just jump 50 foot in the air and land on a building nearby. But I don't think that's what you can do in this game. Or you can't just, like, wall run on buildings like the Hulk can.
Yeah.
Or
it's like a mix of melee attacks and ranged attacks with different skins on them, kind of thing.
It looks like something that would be very impressive if I made it in Unity. But a AAA game studio, you'd probably just expect more, is the honest truth.
I would like to see... It would be neat if it felt sort of like what they did with... Okay, so think of... Did you play the God of War games? Are you familiar with at least what they look like?
I am familiar with what they look like, and I have played the last one.
Okay, so the difference between 3 and 4 is like pretty big in terms of style. It's like they're like almost completely different.
Yeah.
But the reason for that is that it sort of complements the, the standard of today. God of War 4 is like your sort of like, we've had your Breath of the Wild, your Hellblade, your Horizon Zero Dawn sort of thing, where you're like, you got your guy in the third of the screen, and it's like really sort of detailed, and it's open world, and it's like super realistic or whatever. And whereas God of War 3 was like, the camera is here. It's like an Ingmar Bergman film where it's like one frame, cinematic, walk around in the frame and move, and the camera has set area. It's like completely different. But they changed the style and their format for the times. I feel like maybe that's what they should.
Maybe it does seem like a more like a game that's trying to be like a Beyond Two Souls or a Last of Us, or in terms of like that cinematic storytelling like feature. Like, and the God of War leans a bit on that, but not entirely. The God of War is a very much games game in terms of like it has its cinematic stuff, but it's more gameplay than a Last of Us. I'd say that this Avengers game is probably like a Last of Us, but with superheroes. Is what I interpret from looking at it through leaked footage on an iPhone or something. But yeah, I will probably play it because it's
we'll just have to see.
Yeah,
it's up in the air. And with that comparison, though, I do like The Last of Us a lot. I love that game so much.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But they do it incredibly well because they know what they're doing. But when I look at this Avengers game, I'm like, I see what you're going for, but I don't know if you're there.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be open world to be good. It just there are plenty of games that aren't open world that feel like you're in an open world, but you aren't necessarily. There's ways to, I don't know. There are ways to design your game to make them feel big, like you're not on rails, like sort of to trick you into thinking you're making your own decisions. But like that's not a bad thing, I don't think. Zelda games are like that a lot of times. Ocarina of Time, it essentially is an open world game, but really it's not. You have to do things in a certain order. But you just in Hyrule Field, the hub, and it's huge and everything. There's so many places you can go, but you need to do things in a certain order. But it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like you're being pushed anywhere. Kind of feel independent. It doesn't really baby you. There's ways to do that.
Since we're on the topic,
so I'd like to see them do that. Yeah,
Marvel. Since we're talking about Marvel, that obviously they announced or showed their rough timeline for the next phase of movies. We're going to be doing this forever, is the truth. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, because from Iron Man to Endgame, that is an immense arc of storytelling, and it is truly gripping and of high quality. And when they have done missteps, they have corrected, and it has worked. So now we're looking at another phase, or a beginning, like just a beginning of a new arc, a new thing. We've done Thanos. Now we've got to do something else. So I had seen Spider-Man literally not that long ago, because I watched it when it came out, which was this month, and I really liked it. And I can see that. I think they're putting a lot of faith in that Tom Holland will be the new face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is the truth. Because he is effectively...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it makes sense because he's so young.
He's the first next big movie after Thanos, I guess, right? Yeah. After Endgame, so makes sense.
He's so young, and they've depicted him in a high school setting, so we're probably going to live his life with him through many, many movies, and him being in many things. The Phase 4 movies that they have announced, a lot of people are very happy because there is a huge mix of ethnicities, one of which is Shang-Chi. You've probably never heard of his character, because I had never heard of his character either. And
correct.
It is effectively kind of like Iron Fist, but an actual Asian doing martial arts. So better than Iron Fist.
I guess I'm not really familiar with the array of superheroes that are out there in the Marvel and DC universe, but it would make sense that there would be sort of a martial arts based one.
His name
there would have to be one. That's why wouldn't there be one?
I feel like we've got a couple little stories of actors really killing it here. In 2014, Simu Liu, I think that's how you pronounce his name, said, "Yo, I love what you're doing with Captain America. I love Thor. But can we get an Asian superhero up in here?" And as of yesterday, which was their panel, he has been cast as Shang-Chi in 2019. And he replied to his old tweet going, "LOL." So I think this is Disney doesn't budge and Marvel doesn't really budge. But here, you have shown up and knocked on the door, and they've been like, you know what? You've been pretty brave doing this, and why the fuck not? I think there's a little bit of, why not? Sure, why not? We've created a universe that literally anything can happen, and it's fun, and let that spill over into real life. Let real life be a place where dreams come true. What am I saying?
I think with that last big story arc sort of being done now, it's I don't know. The floodgates are open. They have a little bit more room, a little bit of relaxation. They do and they don't, I guess, because they pre-plan way too far ahead for some fucking reason. But
what I didn't like from the panel is how...
I wish they would just keep things open-ended. But
yeah, absolutely. They don't know. I don't think they fully know what the next...
you don't have to plan 6 years in ahead for every movie. You don't have to fucking do that.
Well, they never did. When they made Iron Man, they didn't know they were going to do all this. They didn't know.
I remember years ago seeing a big list of, these are the movies we're making for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
I remember seeing something like
And guess
that.
what?
I'm like, you don't have to do that.
A lot of them didn't happen. Is the truth. Things happen. For
I haven't
instance,
looked at it since.
the Immortals movie was supposed to happen, and then it ended up as a TV show, and then it got cancelled because it was bad. So things.
Whoopsie.
There are sidesteps in this universe. Well, missteps in this universe, and they're not afraid to kill something that doesn't work and just move on. The other thing. So we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is the Mandarin, and the Mandarin from Iron Man 3 isn't the real Mandarin, and there is a real Mandarin, and it's the whole thing that there is a real Mandarin, and it's been confirmed, and it'll probably be Shang-Chi versus the Mandarin. So we have this, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and the next thing is that I was really amazed about is Mahershala Ali. You really must forgive me. I struggle.
You can only do the best you can with a name you've never seen or said or heard before. So
an Oscar-winning actor. When he won his Oscar in 2017 for Best Supporting Actor in Moonlight, he then hooked up a meeting with Kevin Feige, which is the head honcho at Marvel. And when they were meeting, he just went, "I want to play Blade." And Kevin Feige just went, "It must be."
This dude wants to come in and basically snipe Wesley's role. If you get what I'm saying.
What an excellent quip.
Well, thanks, man.
You should write for Spider-Man with those quips.
I said it one time in my head before I said it to make sure it made sense, and then I said
excellent,
it. So.
Excellent.
I think 10 seconds of preparation.
Yeah, I think it's great. Something that I like to say that not a lot of people have the balls to say is that when you get an ethnic role, for instance, Blade is a black character. This guy has very dark skin, and in movies, when Indian people or ethnicities, when there's an ethnic role, they tend to go with a very light version of that ethnicity, and it really does.
Right, they don't want to be too jarring for the white people. You don't
really
want to scare them off.
Yeah, like Jasmine in Aladdin is a girl that is... She has some Indian blood in her, but not a lot. And
like every ethnic person in a movie has like one white parent.
Yeah. For instance...
Doesn't make them unauthentic. I mean, that's 2019. Everyone, there's enough time has passed that people have lots of ethnicities in their genealogy. That's
I have felt that like they really held their ground with like making Luke Cage a black actor with very dark skin, like it is depicted.
He is a blackter,
and not like mixed race washing black roles or ethnic roles. Because you see a lot of that. You see a lot of like, this is my Indian friend, Sanjay, and you're like, that dude is some part Indian. Okay, maybe from like 5 generations ago, but that man standing in front of me is not Indian.
Sure. Yeah.
So here they have, obviously, it's really nice to see like an Asian actor, an Asian man who is a lead role in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and here Mahershala Ali hit it at that time, is playing Blade. I'm so excited to see Blade again. The thing is, like, I rewatched Blade with my girlfriend not long ago, and I began to realize what I remember from this, how I remember this movie isn't quite what the movie is today.
For sure.
I've grown and my taste have, matured. Like, I can see the quality in something. And when I was a kid, this was the shit. Opening up in a nightclub of vampires with the
first time I saw Blade
blood.
Trinity, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I know. I get you.
And, sorry Wesley Snipes. I know he was really excited to potentially play Blade again, but one, he was very problematic, and he like started fights on sets. He was high round the clock. They had to work around him, and he didn't pay his taxes and went to prison. So,
I forgot about that.
How could you
fucking taxes? What the hell?
He's like, I was explaining it to my girlfriend in the car today when I saw that they're gonna reboot Blade. That Wesley Snipes didn't pull any like weird celebrity type. Shift some money around so we pay less taxes. Wesley Snipes just said, "Nah, I'm not gonna pay him."
I will never understand that. Like super rich people who just don't pay it. You can afford it. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You have fuck you money. Just use it for that. Just buy your problems away, you're going to. What is this? What is this? Not paying your taxes at all? Shit. Why? What's that for? No, I need this extra little bit. I need it. Okay.
Oh, the next big story. I should have mentioned this earlier. Natalie Portman had like previously like separated with the Thor movies, and she's never really like put any blame on anyone, and it seems to be just something that sort of happened that seems to be no one's fault, and it just didn't work or whatever. She's a huge actress, right? She's massive. Yeah. Natalie Portman is massive, and clearly she's playing a side character, a supporting member in... She's such a big actress, and she's playing a small role in a superhero movie, and that's how I interpret it. She doesn't say anything of this. I don't think she intends to say anything like this, and I don't think she has any malicious intent towards Marvel, but I can understand how she hadn't been in Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok, and she she didn't make an appearance in Avengers 1. She was a picture on a screen when they were checking that she's okay and out the area of danger, and
right.
You know, she gets mentioned here and there in different movies because she's like historically Thor's like sort of girlfriend that didn't work out. And yesterday they straight up announced she was actually in Endgame because they went back in time and there was a scene where she was in, which is why she was on the red carpet on Endgame and everyone was really surprised. But yesterday they straight up just told the world they're going to do another Thor movie. It will have Thor, it will have Valkyrie, sorry, and it will introduce Natalie Portman as the new female Thor, which is what happens in the comics right now. It is the story of the female Thor, which doesn't tell you who it is, so it doesn't tell you it's this Jane Foster character, but it just shows you that there is a female Thor, and you don't know why, but you're reading it, trying to figure it out.
I'd hope she would be Jane Foster, because having a character in the same series be a different, or same actor in the same series being a different character, is like weird.
Yeah,
like, no, that's Jane Foster. No, that's Thorina. What are you talking about?
I think most people sort of really understood that it was probably her, but they didn't know how or why.
Dude,
and I think
every time I saw Captain America, I was like, "That's the Human Torch. What's he doing
here?" Yeah. we'll come back to that in a bit. In the comic books, it's I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, internet, which I'm sure
I've never read a comic book, so I don't know.
Wow, what a thing to tell them, Max. She gets cancer, and for some reason or some circumstance happens that she is worthy enough to wield Mjolnir, and Mjolnir keeps her alive. So that's the thing. They probably won't do that. If they do, that would be interesting, because Thor is currently with Star-Lord, and Star-Lord's mother died in... I believe it was cancer. I believe Star-Lord's mother died of cancer.
I believe so, yeah.
So, like, to see Star-Lord see someone in that position again would be... He'd probably just punch someone in the face, if I'm honest. He's a loose cannon. I don't believe it's Star-Lord's fault that they didn't defeat Thanos the first time, because he did everything he did was in his character, and he is just a loose cannon. Of course, he didn't help the situation, and he probably could have defeated Thanos if he hadn't started like losing his shit. But the last time he lost his shit, he saved the universe, as in like the time before that. So yeah, female. So far we got Shang-Chi, we have a new Blade, and we're gonna get female Thor, which people really like in the comics, or they don't. I might be wrong.
So just to be clear, what do we mean by female Thor? Like, sort of Thor is in like a sort of the title.
She's
like
called Thor.
She's the goddess of thunder, essentially.
No, she's the god of thunder, and her name is Thor, but she just happens to be a girl. She's new Thor. It's like people can take up the new mantelpiece for other characters having, even though they're just a different character. So they just call her Thor. They just straight up call her Thor.
Sure, fuck it, whatever.
I don't know if they'll do that in the movie, because I know that they have a habit of like not like they don't call
female
Falcon.
Thor. The feminists are taking over.
I
I'm an adult virgin.
I can hear them now, Max.
Did you see? Okay, did you ever see the Gabriel Gundaker Vine? Like it was right before Vine ended.
Oh.
It was over the uproar of the female Ghostbusters.
No, please tell me.
And so Gabriel, he's amazing. The Vine starts. He goes, "The female Ghostbusters, the feminists are taking over," and then the drum fill at the beginning of the Ghostbusters theme starts. I'm an adult virgin.
I remember this. Oh
Yep.
man! Whenever you just need to say Vine,
so fucking good.
You just need to say Vine, like get like fucking just emotional. I'm like,
I miss it so much.
how could such a creative? Well, we know how such a creative app can fall to shit. Many big creators on there.
They refused to just put fucking ads in between the vines. Would have saved it.
And they many creators there just demanded money from a company that wasn't making much money. Is the truth. Like, it was a passion project of this guy on Twitter called Dhoff, so that's a Dhof, and he's currently working on a new app called Byte. And I want in on this because if it's anything like Vine, I'll be happy. TikTok doesn't fill the Vine void. I'm sorry, it doesn't.
No, it's a little different.
It's
I like
a different
it, but
dynamic.
it's a little different.
You know, like Vine was a very pure short comedy type of thing. I made a few Vines, but none of them were good.
No, same, for sure.
I'm pretty sure they weren't like the Vines that people meme about, and it's more like just something that funny that I made that isn't really like funny outside of my circle. I miss
the time limit was everything. The time limit was 100% necessary for the way it worked, and I think is the reason TikTok doesn't feel exactly like it is the time limit.
Yeah, and
people work well with creative constraints. They just do.
I remember, because I follow the dude on Twitter, that Vines weren't actually 6 seconds. They were just over 6 seconds, but you wouldn't be able to tell unless you like timed it. And the reason he did that is so that you could let go of the record button and still capture your last syllable or something.
Yeah, and I'm sure that made so many of my favorite Vines were because of the exact perfect timing of the way they ended and the last thing you heard right at the end, like. And I'm sure those Vines would be a little bit different if you were to cut off the 0.1 seconds on the end or whatever. I'm sure that actually made a difference. And we're talking about a decent percentage of the time that they added on. It sounds like so. That wasn't without merit. That wasn't without a point. I miss it. It's a damn shame. I bet they're just like Twitter is so pissed seeing like these Vine compilations getting millions and billions of views for years. You're like, oh my god, what the fuck have we done?
I have, back on the Marvel thing, I have something that I've always joked about, and I've always said, like, I'm still waiting for the Brown Avenger. Because we see many ethnicities in Marvel movies, apart from, well, Middle Eastern and Indian people. And I want to just say, Dopinder doesn't count. Dopinder from Deadpool doesn't count. A taxi driver from Deadpool doesn't count. Okay, I'm sorry. One, he's like stereotypically an Indian character, and two, at the time, Deadpool wasn't acquired by Marvel, so I mean like a Marvel brown person up in there. There have been in the Netflix shows, but I'm not really talking about Netflix shows this podcast because they're something else with some it's a bit of a mess is what the Netflix shows ended up being.
The audience of people who watch the Marvel movies and the people who watch the shows are they don't have as much overlap as you think. I don't think I've ever seen like a Marvel show. I don't care.
I think
maybe they're good. I'm sure there's some good ones, but I haven't been compelled to watch them. The movies, sure.
I think many people watch the movies, watch the shows, but I don't think there's a lot of people watching the shows who haven't seen the movies. It's the truth.
I guess that would be the way I would prefer.
But I have good news that Kamal Nanjiani will be playing
I like him.
A character in the Eternals, which isn't the Avengers, but it's close enough. And
what is the Eternals?
Eternals is like some sort of freaking weird cosmic space Avengers. It's different,
cool.
And the cast will be like Angelina Jolie, and I don't have a list of characters in front of me, but I know that Kamal is in it, and I like him. I think he's funny.
I like him a lot.
He was in Silicon Valley.
He was in a bunch of Portlandia sketches, which was the first time I happened to see him, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? He's hilarious."
He's also in that movie Stuber, which is an Uber like sort of parody about giving a cop an Uber to everything, everywhere he needs to be. I haven't seen it. I'll probably watch it. It seems sort of lighthearted, not like an artistic sort of merit sort of film. It just seems like a bit of a laugh. I like him. I there's a brown person that's going to be a main character in a Marvel movie, and I don't believe he's Indian. I'm pretty sure he's Pakistani, but it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, we're all the same.
Scratches that itch. That's what matters. You know?
Scratches my ethnicity itch.
My ethnic itch.
Oh boy.
He's cool as hell. I'm happy to see him in some high profile stuff.
Yeah, his career has really worked, because I remember he's been in that Love Story movie and also stuff.
That's right. I was trying to think of what that was. I hadn't seen it, but I remember seeing it. You know, hearing stories about it on NPR, driving to work, and like seeing it on TV and stuff. I'm like, hey, that's cool, man. Good shit. Just coming up from me seeing this side, character or whatever on Portlandia that I thought was funny. I'm like, oh, who is this guy? He's funny. Oh, I saw him in another sketch. Who is this guy? And suddenly I know his first and last name by heart. And that's big for me because I don't remember anyone's name.
The last thing is most of the Comic-Con panel was them telling everyone how they're going to do so many shows on the Disney streaming service. And I'm like, I know that you're doing it, and I'm sure I'll probably like them and watch them and get Disney Plus. Is it called Disney Plus? I don't know. What's it called? Anyway.
I will get the 30-day free trial and watch as much as I can in that amount of time, and then that will probably be it until I can steal a friend's password.
I know, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. I already got Netflix and Hulu. I'm not doing that other shit.
Yeah, but do you pay for them yourself?
I pay for Hulu. I have a friend's Netflix password. And I have a friend's HBO password. That's where I'm at right now.
Excellent.
And I buy movies on Amazon individually because they're like $4.
Yeah, it's hard like not to. It just makes sense. Yep. However, Amazon is a great service, but their business model is terrible and they need to pay taxes.
Sure. Yep, and their employees have trouble pissing. So.
And I feel bad for using Amazon, but it works so well, and it's like second to none in experience and ease of access. And I feel bad, because I know that it's shit. But where else am I going to find the things that I need to find and get?
It's like you're comparatively making your life very difficult by not using it. So it's like,
that's exactly what I mean.
And who's that even going to affect? Just me. Like, shit. Yeah, I hear you. It's just one of those first world things. I don't know. Still navigating that little headspace.
Yeah, the last topic we have is, did you see the trailer for the Cats movie?
Yeah.
You look so... It is like... so uncomfortable.
I really only have one big gripe, and it's the CGI doesn't look great. That's really the big gripe.
But that's the big gripe that everyone has. That's the gripe to have with this movie.
Sure.
And if you
that's just like mainstream. That's just like what every new movie comes out. It's like, oh, did you see how bad the fucking CGI is? Oh, his face does not look like it's supposed to be there. The genie looks bad. Sonic looks bad. Like everything looks bad when it comes out. Those Pokemon are so fucking fuzzy. What is this?
Everyone's brought up, as of late, for some reason, we've just been stuck in the uncanny valley, and it's just like, but we don't really need to be. We can just make it a bit more cartoony, and it's fine, and we'll turn up. The problem with the Sonic movie is that it's too uncomfortable to look at because it's too much like a person. It looks like you've skinned a blue animal and made as a bodysuit and stuck it on a child. It's really uncomfortable to look at. And this Cats movie I don't understand why they've done it this way, and I imagine that there's some head honchos at whatever studio is producing this, and the art director laid out a bunch of things, and I think this is happening with all of these uncanny valley things where the people who don't really know anything about art are just saying it needs to look more real, and not understanding the implications of this and how you're going to create weird monstrosities. I feel really bad for the main actress in this, who Francesca Hayward, who is a royal ballerina from England, and she's obviously very talented. And this is a big break, this Cats movie. She's the white cat, which you first get introduced to when she turns around. Just on the screen right now.
When she's purple.
Yeah, I've got on the screen right now. I've got my tweet, and I've got the unedited version, and then what I tried to do to fix it. So it's all about the shape of the head and the ears not being quite symmetrical, and that you have to do something with the face, because you can't just stick a human face on a furry body. So this is what
it does
I did.
Feel incomplete looking at people's, or looking at their faces in the trailer.
Yeah. And what I'm a bit concerned with is that I understand that my Photoshop hasn't straight up fixed it, but it has helped it. And I don't know what you can do to straight up fix this, is the truth. What I did, and I felt bad about this, because I had to manipulate like her facial features a bit, because to make it look less uncomfortable, you need to make it look a little bit cartoony. So that's increase the contrast in the eyes and make the eyes a little bit bigger, and to try and get a cat nose, and to do that I had to make her nose smaller, which I felt a bit uncomfortable doing, because the actress is actually black, or like mixed race. And I did find it strange that they've taken a mixed race actress and just made her white, because I know VFX wise that's really difficult to do. Like, this is...
It was kind of a weird choice, yeah.
What they've done with her face is basically like video footage and then like masked on tried to do a fur texture. But after video compression and like Twitter crops and whatnot, tweeting around this stuff, fur doesn't work well with YouTube video compression. So what tends to happen is like, there's fur around the face, but then on the face, it tends to smooth out. And then it becomes this weird, like, where does the fur start and stop sort of thing? And it becomes incredibly distracting. So yeah, I did Photoshop what I think looks better. And a lot of people tend to agree that looks better when you flick between them. Like, you can see that, like, what I've done makes it look like less of a human and more like a CGI character that your brain is willing to accept.
Sure.
But
and another thing, I thought I'm like not able to articulate perfectly well in my head right now is like, it just something. I gotta say this. I've never seen the theatrical production. I don't know anything about the story. However, I'm like, do you need to make this theater performance like a movie like this? It just like is this format really going to suit the story, and especially where it originated and how it's been known for a long time. I don't know. It's like video game movies. Did this need to be a fucking movie?
Dude, we could do an entire podcast. I was thinking about this earlier. I can't remember what you said, but I immediately started thinking about video game movies and how the Assassin's Creed movie is an unwatchable movie. It's not unwatchable for a video game movie. It is an unwatchable movie. Like, it will give you motion sickness, and what they do with the cameras don't make any sense. You can't follow any of it. It's just bad. Why did I get
how good
this?
The Max Payne games were, the Max Payne movie was very underwhelming.
But yeah, this Cats movie, I understand the direction. I understand that you want to make like a live action, CGI enhanced theatrical performance where the set is a physical stage, and a really well made physical stage with like great lighting, and just what you could do on a movie set is more than you could do on a stage, right? In a theater. And they're trying to build this world where the humans are the size of cats and all the objects around them are big and they have physical props, and it's amazing. And it's of course great that they have this incredible cast, like Jason Derulo is in this movie, and Taylor Swift.
I didn't know that guy did acting. I never knew that.
I think this, because it's a musical.
He says his own name in the beginning of his songs very well.
And he hates it when you bring it up.
Very good at that. He fucking did it. Like, just don't do it if you don't want to talk about it.
It's
Fuck
like
you.
people like see him in the streets like Jason Derulo, and he just starts losing his shit.
Did it to himself.
Oh man, I get that this movie is like a love letter to theatre. What they didn't intend on was creating these CGI monstrosities where like it's really noticeable on the actors with dark skin. like Jennifer Hudson. I believe that's who's in this movie. Please Google that for me. And you can see that, like, with dark skin like mine, the spots of reflection are in higher contrast to the actual skin. Like the glistening on the tip of my nose is, and the contrast to that with my skin is much greater contrast than your own. But you can see that.
But there wouldn't be with fur. It would be all sort of matte finish almost, because it's fur. It doesn't reflect light nearly in the same way.
See that on the faces, but it's supposed to be fur. And then you see the smooth texture that then becomes fur, and it's unclear as to when it becomes fur. So, like, there's either fur or no fur on a real animal. There's no in-between fur. It's very strange.
Right. And I'll say this, too. Here's a thought I had when I watched it for the first time, and, well, I guess the only time. Everyone else besides the main character is, like, okay. They look fine, actually. They don't look that bad. Like Judi Dench, I thought looked okay, and
did you?
Ian McKellen's. I thought she was like okay, like compared to the first impression of seeing the main character and then seeing her, I'm like, oh, that's a little better.
Maybe that's just the
Ian
worst
McKellen.
shot.
Ian McKellen's in it, right?
Yeah.
I thought he looked okay. Like, I don't know, not amazing. I mean, it's a weird concept already. It was like.
Do you know who needs to stop being in movies? Who needs to stop being in movies? I'm sorry, okay? I know that he came from here, and he was a nobody, and then he did Gavin and Stacey and a dumb football show on Sky, and he's great, and, like, he's very funny, but I don't need to see James Corden in every movie. I don't understand it. Why?
I like him as a talk show host. You should do that. I like his show. I think his show's okay. I like he has Reggie Watts as his band leader. I don't know if he does that anymore, but that was like a nice era. I liked him in Doctor Who. Yeah. I don't know. He's all right.
I swear,
he seems like a nice guy.
Was he in Star Wars? I think he was in Star Wars.
James Corden in Star Wars? Fuck.
Weird. I think he had one of those appearances, but you don't know it's him unless you make the connection. I don't know. Like, it's just annoying. Like, it's just annoying. Like, he's in Ocean's 8. He just turns up in a movie, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to get sick of him. I kind of like him. Stop
doing
it. Don't make me hate him.
He's like a guest appearance. It feels like that. It feels like you're supposed to clap when he's on. It doesn't fit quite right. I don't know. Anyway, this movie, I imagine the CGI will get better by the time it releases, but if they're using this method to make these people, it's going to look a bit strange. A lot of people seem to have problems with, like, these sexy cat bodies, and I get it, but, like, I don't think they're, like, technically bad, if that makes sense. Like, the bodies are CGI, and the fur on them looks, well, as real as fur can look. It looks good, like, technically good. I understand, like, if you feel disturbed because it's, like, a very, like, I don't know, sexy body, but it's furry. Congratulations, you're a furry now. I guess you got to.
Yeah, that's on you. They didn't tell you it was sexy. You just thought that when you looked at it.
Like, someone tweeted at me, and he was like, someone tweeted at my Photoshop fix, and they said, I still can't unsee them kitty titties. # kitty ditty. And I'm like, I guess you're furry now. Embrace it. I don't know what you could have done. Maybe entirely CGI characters that don't look like this and look a bit more like, well, like, furry artwork with, like, cat faces and stuff. I don't know what you could do.
The interpretation that they're sexy is going to happen because humans find humans sexy and these cats are humanoid. So how are you going to avoid that?
And please,
it just doesn't...
the Cats musical is, like, a little bit sexual. Let's not, like... Maybe that someone out there is going to be like, you interpret it that way. Look, the first time I went to Comic-Con in London, and I walked in, there were the actresses from Cats rolling around on the floor. I swear to God, one of them made eye contact with me and started, like, doing weird stretches and stuff, and I felt uncomfortable, and I just got the hell out of there. I just went to the main event, and, like, yeah, it's fine. I don't care. If you find it attractive, great. If you don't, cool, whatever. One day we'll all be able to build our robot girlfriends, and you can have a furry if you want. it's going to be fine. Or VR will take you there, or Elon Musk's Neuralink can augment reality your own girlfriend. That'd be scary. Have you heard of this Elon Musk augmented reality stuff?
No.
Dude, it's like sticking stuff.
I've just been playing Terraria like constantly for some reason.
That's more relevant to our video games podcast. Now let me tell you about Neuralink.
God.
It's like they're just gonna stick 100 needles in your head, but they're like super thin, and the idea is that the probe on the end of the needle, it's not like a needle, it's like a little probe that they can stick through your skull into your head and into your brain, and it's going to sit incredibly close to like a neuron, and it's going to know when it's firing, and a robot puts them in because the robot is more precise. And basically Elon Musk is trying to tackle the problem that humans, the way we communicate through words and imagery, is incredibly low bandwidth, and it takes a long time to transfer information from one person to another. And if there was a way that, like, if I knew calculus, you didn't know calculus, then you could receive calculus.
Damn.
Import calculus, semicolon.
That is interesting.
So
there's a part of me that immediately is being like, oh man, but what about the people who put in all this effort? And now there's going to be no difference between people who have a drive and want to learn and put the time in to people who are just like, but that's but also I don't want to not embrace change.
I'm like
necessarily either.
I'm like paraphrasing the whole thing largely.
Well, sure.
So far, what they can do is what they've said they've done is that unfortunately they've experimented on monkeys for this, apes, I assume, monkeys maybe, I don't know, but they said that we don't wish that this was necessary, and that, but we do feel it is necessary for development as a species to be able to achieve this technology. And then Elon Musk said, "Yeah, it's not nice that we're experimenting on animals, but we have made it so a monkey can use a computer with his brain." And then, like, the rest of the people on the stage looked at him and realized that, like, they didn't know that they were going to tell everyone this yet, but Elon was like, yeah, it works. Like, I can tell you it works. And I know that next year there is someone with like a spinal injury that they're gonna like do this experimental technology with. I don't know how that helps a spinal injury. Maybe he's got robot legs. I don't know.
I was gonna say I immediately was like, well, they're gonna be piloting a mech, obviously.
Like, piloting a mech.
Yeah, but clearly, a Jaeger.
Straight up, if I knew I wanted to do something and I didn't know anything about it, and I just knew that I could install the information to my brain that then I could go and do that thing and use my creativity. I'm using this information as a tool for my creativity. So like I am learning a skill or something to express myself with. That's great. However, if you look up the diagrams of 100 neurons, 100 of these like little probes being like stuck into your brain, it's like sort of terrifying to look at, is the truth. They're just diagrams, but they're scary. They're just scary. Yeah. And it is moving into like the Detroit Become Human sort of like you get a mod. Maybe that's not true because Detroit Become Human, they're androids. But like you're gonna get these needles stuck into your head, and there's gonna be a computer chip somewhere in your head, and it's tiny. But like the main module sits behind your ear, and it's like this white thing. And you're like, this is some like sci-fi shit. Like, it even looks like some sci-fi shit. And he said that the only part that you need to upgrade is the module that sits behind your head, because all the other hardware is necessary.
This could have extremely profound implications for, like, Alzheimer's disease, though, is what I'm thinking about, too, and Parkinson's disease. I mean, people die from Alzheimer's disease because your brain, like, forgets how to swallow and breathe or whatever. What if you could just insert those things back in or something? You know, I mean, it sounds like it'd be really good for a lot of those things, a lot of medical implications. And also, if we're doing the podcast in like 200 years and we're still alive, and then it's like, oh, have you seen Avengers 17? No, I haven't. Hold on. It was great.
Just like inject that into their head.
The whole plot of everything. I just saw all of it. I can see all of it.
I really do think that it's very scary. Right, like
sure, yeah.
The invention of computers was to be able to do work really efficiently and learn, but with that has come so much other shit that is harmful. And I wonder, are we going to have to deal with that, but with our own brains? And my girlfriend, who graduated with biology, said, like, this sort of technology is pretty much leading to, like, hacking people. Like, if it's basically a computer that interfaces with the brain and can stimulate your neurons, which is probably the scariest part of it. Like, these little probes, they can make your neurons fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to be. People,
they're not only
if
sensing
it's
them.
possible, there's too many humans. Someone's going to exploit anything that is possible. Period.
And then we're in Ghost in the
someone will
Shell.
do. I gotta watch that.
Oh, the movie. It's no good. I'm tired of Scarlett Johansson.
I haven't seen any of it. It's an anime, isn't it?
Oh, it's an anime. The anime's good.
Never seen it. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, it's good. I've seen some of it. I know they've made so many of them, and they've made so many sequels of it, and not all of them are good, but the first one's very good.
Okay.
I think we should wrap up the show.
So,
unless you wanted to talk about Terraria.
Not much to it. This is an old ass game. It's like, hey, it's like Minecraft, but then you actually play it for like a couple days. You're like, this is not Minecraft at all.
Yeah, this is a different thing.
And it is so much deeper than I thought it was. Holy shit. The amount of items and the pure amount of things you can do in that game and the weapon variety, it's so insane. It nearly discourages me from playing. I'm like, I'm never going to touch like 80% of the things in this game. Like there's no way. But I just keep doing it. I'll do something and I'll spawn a boss or something will happen and I'll be like, oh fuck, that weapon's really good. Oh shit, I gotta go to the underworld and test that out. Oh shit, I got way further because of this new weapon I got. Oh fuck, I just got to mine this new shit I've never even seen before. Oh my god, I made some armor with that shit. I just just something. It just has such a great. I love it. It's great. It's got so much quality of life items, which I don't see a lot in games, like time savers, like. Oh, what's this? You made it this far. Well, now you have these boots where you can run really fast now, and suddenly you can get across the map in half the time. It's like, oh my god,
the reason
it's awesome. I love it.
I like Terraria is that it reminds me, and I absolutely prompted you to talk about it on the podcast. It makes me feel good because it reminds me of Jesse Cox and Total Biscuits. Terraria YouTube show, which basically they just kept playing Terraria. It was basically like a kind of like a podcast, but they were really playing Terraria at the same time and just talking about anything. And R.I.P. Total Biscuit.
Yeah, of course.
Miss him. Jesse Cox. This wasn't supposed to be a plugging other YouTubers segment, but I know he is doing different things with his YouTube channel soon, and he'll be making like shorts and things like that. So I wish him well as well. Like I think that's pretty cool. I think there was an era that sort of ended when TB passed away, and that makes me sad because but life goes on and people have gone to do different things, such as Dodger is now a mother and Jesse is figuring out new exciting stuff, and Terraria makes me remember like some really good funny stuff. Yeah,
it was an interesting era. Yeah, I remember that. I was more like a Minecraft guy at the time. I didn't pick up Terraria until it was like way past its prime.
Yeah,
but I love it so much. It's a fun ass game.
Minecraft's coming back because of Pewds.
Yeah, it kind of is, and I think it's a mix of that, and I think the timing isn't a coincidence. I think, at least for me, the feelings I get, the nostalgia I get from Minecraft, and so I didn't really grow up with Minecraft. When I first played Minecraft and it was in beta, I was 18. I was an adult by that time. But where was I going with this? Okay, so this Fortnite craze has come. All these kids are going fucking nuts over it. People who are older than the people who are obsessed with it are like sick of it, and suddenly it's clicking their heads like, oh, this was what my generation was doing with Minecraft. Of course, both of those generations were like a little bit before me.
Yeah.
But I think people are going, okay, you know what, I've seen all this Fortnite. Let's just take it back a notch. Let's just go back to Minecraft and just do that. And so I think the timing coincides with that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, let's take it back.
The thing is, like, I was so done with Minecraft such a long time ago. And
when the Ender Dragon shit started coming in, and like I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, this is too much. This is a
Yeah.
lot. I can't memorize all these items now. There was a point where I could memorize like all the crafting recipes for stuff.
wow.
I kind of because there weren't that many things, but now there's like that's not even the point anymore. You're not supposed to memorize everything in Minecraft. You're supposed to just like have a Wikipedia page on your second monitor and like looking shit up all the time, and kind of like Terraria, honestly.
Well, I was so done with it, and to see Pewds open it and play it, and to actually have fun with it, I'm like, shit, this does look fun. It does look fun. It really looks fun. I used
to run a server and I had like 4 or 5 friends, and I would come back from college or work or whatever, and I could see in the server dialogue like who had logged in and when they left, and I'd like log in and be like, oh, Amber has a bunch more sheep in her house now. And,
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you used to run a Minecraft server.
Yeah, I did, and I just would leave my computer on, and just people would log in and play it. And
it's really fun. Like nice thing to do. Is the honest truth. Like it's really nice.
I had great memories.
Yeah,
I'd love to do it again too, and I do every now and then. Be discording my brother or a friend of mine, like, hey, let me. I think I still have port 25565 port forwarded on my router. Let me just run this shit.
Let's end the show.
That is the port, by the way, but sad to know that. Yeah, let's do that.
On that note, let's end the show. This is the Super Salty Podcast. Our YouTube channel is Super Salty Pod. Our Twitter is @SuperSaltyPod. I am Neelesh Durari. I'm known as Neenor. That's @Neenor on Instagram, @Mr. Neenor. That's MrNeeNaw on Twitter, and on YouTube, I'm Neenor. All these links are in the description. Max is...
Yeah.
Tell them.
Oh, I'm Max Wallace. So on Instagram, I'm Thundersmell. It's how you think you would be smelled. Twitter, I'm Thunder_smell. YouTube, also Thundersmell. But there's other YouTube, but that's the one that's most relevant to this podcast because of video games. That's me. I think that's it.
Nah, tell them about Haysticks. There's also Haysticks.
That was my first foray into YouTube. The biggest channel I had. It was a vlog channel. I'm potentially going to come back. I uploaded a video recently from the Music and Gaming Festival in Maryland. So I did upload recently there. So yeah, check that out too. Fuck it. I don't know. YouTube.com/Haysticks.
Excellent. Thank you for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for keep listening and having consecutive listeners. This is great. As to popular requests, we are recording our webcams for the YouTube version of the podcast. Thank you.
For audio listeners, plot twist, there was video the whole time.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.